Visit Pokemon Card Market and buy Pokemon cards from base set up to latest evolution set with best prices, secured system and easy handling. Only for European players. Okay guys, let's do this. So, I'm starting second looks like, because I lost the coin flip. And that means that there's a possibility to attack on my turn 1 with my Mega Venusaur. In theory, it's possible, but probably it's not gonna happen. So I'm running not the fastest build you can have. Probably with those max elixirs you can even have more consistency attaching those energy cards. But the biggest concern for me is if I don't start with my Venusaur in the active spot. But luckily I managed to find another one, but actually two of them, and there we go. So there's one Ultra Ball for me, which means that I can grab Hoopa EX, and in addition to that, set up pretty well. I also have N in my hand, just in case if I will need draw 6 new cards. On the other side, it's maybe Mega Sceptile, maybe just a Sceptile EX with Yanmega break, so this is definitely going to be very interesting. So since there's a Float Stone and the Fighting Fairy Belt, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be actually surprised to see Mega Sceptile. So it's just a Sceptile with Yanmega break, maybe even Arietto. So Birch Observation for only 4 cards, unluckily for my opponent, which is actually a good sign for me. Maybe he even puts that Forest of the Giant plant for me in play, so I wouldn't be in bad position if he do that. I mean, I have 1 energy for attachment, but probably I will just throw it out with my Ultra Ball so I can Mega Turbo it. Alright, 1 Grass energy. And my turn. So, nice. Top deck another Grass energy, which means that I will probably just Ultra Ball both energy cards in my discard pile and will take that Hoopa. So I have only 2 Mega Turbos in my deck. Okay, so that means that the 2 Mega Turbos are priced. 7 energies in my deck, so I'm running 10 in total. That means the 2 Mega Turbos and 1 energy is actually priced. Alright, so we'll take 2 Shaven EXs here. For that draw support, of course, and basically I have only 2 Ultra Balls left. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is basically I'm going to play one of my Shamans for only 2 cards setup. Not looking forward to play that Puzzle of Time yet. Alright, so there's 1 Float Stone, and right now I'm going to play that piece of puzzle to rearrange something as the top deck. So 1 Pearl City, Sycamore, and Shaman in this case. Pretty much doesn't really matter, I guess not too much. None of these cards I really want to use, so I'm going with my Sycamore for 7. I'm searching for that Mega Venusaur, Spirit Link. Oh, there's a piece of puzzle. But unfortunately for me, I don't have another piece of puzzle, so I can't grab Mega Turbo or anything else from my discard pile. So this means that I'm going to pass my turn pretty much here because I didn't draw good. I can't Mega Evolve because I don't have Stadium in play. So that means only one thing. I stuck with my Venusaur in the active position, and I really want to move it somehow. So there's a Sleep Poison actually, just for the 10 damage from my opponent, so I get pretty lucky here. That means only one thing. I'm going to Mega Evolve and play my Trainer's Mail to see what can I get here. Oh, just a Center Lady, I guess. Okay, not the best card, but at least I can attach 1 more energy on my Benched, a Venusaur, and I guess I can use my Hex Maniac. Maybe not, since I didn't play a single V-Seeker yet. I'm going to play my Ultra Ball here and just grab another Venusaur for my bench. There's Olympia, so I'm gonna be able to retreat somehow. Even there's another escape rope in my deck, so if I can find something like another piece of puzzle, I can easily grab, let's say, Pearl City and something like a Mega Turbo, so I can power up my Mega Venusaur, or I can just grab with another piece of puzzle. Oh, there you go, there's a Forest Pajama plant, so I really like that. Can he find maybe one more? Okay, there's another level ball, probably just for another Yanma in this case. So far, I guess I'm standing pretty well because my opponent didn't manage to do more than just a 10 damage with that Sleep Poison, so he's missing some energy cards. But even supporter card, okay, right now he can use Unseen Cloak, which can be, okay, there's even V-Seeker for another Birch Observation, maybe 4, maybe 7, depending on the coin flip. It's going to be 4 cards. That means that he can even retreat and strike with his Assault Beam for 50. If he wants, of course. Unseen Clown for 60, because I'm not affected with any special condition. My turn is going to be top deck Lysander. Definitely want to Lysander his Sceptile on the bench, just because, I mean, he can retreat for paying 1 energy retreat cost, but he first needs to have energy in his hand, of course. On the other side, I really want to maybe survive a few more turns with my Venusaur in the active position, because it's very important to be able to set up my Mega Venusaur so I can use my Crisis Wine. So far, I'm not able to attack. That means only one thing, that I will definitely need supporter card as the top deck. So, 1 Mega Turbo is in my discard pile, 1 is in my deck. Okay, so I managed to survive somehow. There's 1 Mega Turbo as the top deck, but unfortunately that's pretty much it. I mean, I can play my piece of puzzle to rearrange the future, to see the top 3 cards, but I still want to maybe better draft that second piece of puzzle, because right now it's not very important to play that piece of puzzle, but maybe I should do that on my next turn actually, and basically see what I can get with the next 3 cards. Okay, there's a Spirit Link, so let's do 1 piece of puzzle. Okay, so 3 more turns I wouldn't draw a supporter card, so I just decide right now to use my piece of puzzle, attach my Spirit Link to my bench, a Venusaur, and pass my turn. So right now I know that the next card is going to be Professor Sycamore. I just need to find a way to retreat my Venusaur from the active position, and this is definitely going to be either way 1 Olympia or 1 Escape Rope. So far, nothing from my opponent. Okay, I see some good cards here, like a Trainer's Mail for the piece of puzzle. So I guess I'm going to take that piece of puzzle if I can find maybe another one. Let's see. Nope, not even close. But that V-Seeker is going to be pretty good. 1 Ultra Ball for 1 Venusaur and 1 Pokemon Ranger, so I can grab another Mega Venusaur. And this is pretty much it, my friends. 1 Mega Venusaur, 1 Grass Energy on my Mega Venusaur on the bench, and I'm ready to pass my turn. So for the next turn, I guess I have option to go with my V-Seeker for and this is pretty much the thing I'm going to do, because I really don't want to discard my piece of puzzle, because I will probably need it later, especially to use those Mega Turbos for 2 free energy attachment when my opponent managed to knock out my Mega Venusaur. Definitely not going to be easy task for him, because I also have those Center Ladies in my deck, so I can heal pretty much easily damage from my Mega Venusaur. But still waiting to see what he can do. He definitely stuck with his Sceptile in the active spot. I don't see the sign of the energy card for the retreat. There's another Sceptile EX. So Flowstone on the Sceptile down to the bench, and there we go with the end. So actually he helped a lot right now in this situation. So I'm going to get Olympia. There we go. So right now I can actually have that very important free retreat and strike for 120 damage with my Crisis Wine. And the most important thing is that his Sceptile in the active spot will be paralyzed. This is the most important thing, my friends, right now. So, oh, look at this. He managed to sleep me, but I managed to wake up and I managed to play my Olympia for that retreat, which is very important. And I can also heal 30 damage from my Venusaur. That's the most important thing. One Grass Energy on my another Mega Venusaur and Crisis Wine. Finally, after like 10 turns, I managed to power up my Mega Venusaur, and right now his Sceptile is in very, very big trouble because if he's not going to be able to retreat, he's definitely going to be in a very bad position. I do have my V-Seeker in my hand. That means only one thing. I can grab that Center Lady and I can heal the damage that my opponent can do to my Mega Venusaur. So he's definitely in a very, very bad position right now. I can definitely tell that. So let's see what else he can do. I mean, he only played two Birch Observations, one N and one Level Ball. So definitely not the best hand for my opponent. I can tell that. On the other side, I go through my almost 80% of the deck, even 90% of my deck. So I have a V-Seeker here, but I don't need it. I just need to go with my Crisis Wine, knock out my opponent Mega Sceptile here, oh actually Sceptile, and pretty much drop two prize cards, one Spirit Link and one V-Seeker, so not that bad I guess. Because I can get rid of some of the cards from my hand in case of the end, but I also have two V-Seekers. That's the most important thing. Running those V-Seekers and keeping them in my hand will definitely give me the opportunity to basically heal the damage from my Mega Venusaur after my opponent strike with his Yanmega Break. I mean, the best thing he can probably do, okay, there's a N, is to try to use Sleep Poison and hope that I'm not going to be able to find that V-Seeker for my Center Lady. That's the best thing he can basically do. That's just my personal opinion. And then actually next turn try to use Unseen Claw, and then I'm going to be poisoned and I will not have the another attacker in play ready to attack, and then he can just retreat and attack with his Yanmega Break. But of course, if I use my Crisis Wine, he might not going to be able to retreat. It all depends if, in that case, I'm going to be able to wake up or not. So there's 120 damage, a big damage output from that Yanmega Break. And I'm definitely forced to play my Sycamore because I really need those Olympias, Mega Turbos, and stuff like that. So I have to Puzzle of Times, and I have two energies. That means that I can grab two copies of Mega Turbo, and I can easily play them. So I don't see reason why I wouldn't do that. And power up my another Mega Venusaur. There we go, two pieces of Mega Turbos for exchange of those two pieces of puzzles. I really like those Puzzle of Times. They're just so badass cards. And I also like those new Mega Evolutions from the Generation 1. I really enjoy playing them. I'm a big fan of them. So Spirit Link, just for the last cards in my hand, and Crisis Wine for 120 damage. So the next turn, he's not going to be able basically to attack. At the beginning of my turn, his Yanmega probably going to be knocked out. That means only one thing. I'm going to use my V-Seeker and pretty much use Olympia to retreat with my Venusaur from the active spot down to my bench. In that case, my opponent not going to be able to knock him out because I will have only 90 damage in it. And the maximum damage output he can do is 120. Not even sure how he hits me for 120 in this case. Because, oh yeah, with the Salt Beam. Yeah, correctly. With the Salt Beam he strikes for 120. So there we go with the Spin Arc. And he finally managed to get that Spin Arc. Maybe he can somehow put the poison also on my Venusaur. But I'm Grass. My Mega Venusaur is Grass Attacker, so probably Ariados will not be very effective. So there is one more Grass Energy, and his Mega is knocked out. Alright, so there we go. Mega Turbo number 5. Okay, so basically, I can just one-hit knockout. Oh, there's another V-Seeker. Let's go with Olympia. Down to the bench, just to remove some damage counters from my Mega Venusaur. And this is definitely going to be an easy knockout with my Crisis Wine. I don't want to attach my energy just because I don't know if my opponent maybe will be able to Lysander my Shaman on the bench, so that's the reason why I don't want to do that. There's an Ultra Ball. If he play N and and I miss the opportunity to get V-Seeker, I can just find 1 energy and pretty much retreat my Shaman. So I managed to knock out his spinner. I would call this as a bad decision for my opponent, probably. Maybe he could just promote that Yanmega in the active spot, but who knows? He knows the best what he have in his deck. Now, I have 2 V-Seekers, that means that pretty much I have victory in my hand. All I really need is V-Seeker, one of his Sceptiles on the bench, hit with the Crisis Wine, and pretty much wait for my opponent to pass his turn, because if he does not run Escape Rope, Switch, or Olympia, he's not going to be able to do pretty much anything else against my Mega Venusaur. So definitely a Mega Venusaur is a good card. It can strike for tons of damage, it can leave you poisoned and paralyzed. So if you don't have Switch, Escape Rope, or Olympia, you will definitely stuck in the active position without chance to recover. That's for sure. So waiting to see what else he can do here. There's a Lysander. Okay, so he Lysander my Shaman. The best thing he can do is basically strike with that barrier break only for the 100. So he's short for 10, and that means only one thing. I didn't attach energy card, and I did a good call here. That means only one thing. Right now, I can use my Grass Energy onto my Shaman. I can play my V-Seeker for Lysander, and I can basically Lysander one of my opponent Sceptiles on the bench, retreat down to my Venusaur, and pretty much hit for the knockout. And this is pretty much it, guys. GG, and I managed to win this game with my Mega Venusaur.